Well, hi there, Universal Executives. Thank you very much for letting me sit you down today and pitch you my idea for the Jurassic World 3 Electric Boogaloo. I know you're all very busy, so I'll keep this one nice and short. Don't worry about it. We're not going into big character developments. We're not going into big story elements. I mean, did you see what I did with the whiteboard? Did you all see what I did with the whiteboard there? You can expect more of that in bloody droves, mate. So let's get right into it. So, Jurassic World. They're bloody cropping up all over the place, mate. We can't bloody keep on top of them. So, I hear you ask, but Joe, Claire and Owen, they were there in Jurassic World and then they were there in Jurassic World 2 Electric Boogaloo. So how have they managed? You know, they've been putting all this work in, they've been putting in a hard graft over there. How have all these Jurassic Worlds managed to crop up under their noses? I hear you ask, it's bloody ridiculous. Well, I throw the question right back to you. How did Jurassic World get made in the first place without Ian Malcolm, without Sam Neill and Laura Dern, you know, putting up a protest? It just happened under their bloody noses, isn't it? People in this franchise are stupid, mate. They're a bit dumb, don't even worry about it. So, you didn't think of that, did you? No. When you sit down and let me do the talking for a change. Have you ever thought about that? No, you didn't. Right, so, the Jurassic Worlds in question. I'm not going to bother making any funny names for these. I do bloody love making fun names that are appropriate to the sort of settings of the genre of what they're meant to be in. But to avoid horrendous cultural appropriation, I'm not going to make funny names for these. I'm just going to list them off. I mean, they're all called Jurassic World, mate. One larger one. All the Disney Worlds are called Disney World, aren't they? Or they're called like Disney Sea or something. To start us off, we've got the British Jurassic World. Now this will be just outside of London, and you know, it's me writing the scripts. Of course, I'm going to work in all these sort of old plans for like the UK Disneyland or the UK Universal Studios and all the sort of best laid plans. It's a bit more stiff upper lip. It's a bit more, you know, dinosaur goes big splash and everybody claps and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But when we get further on in the script and we start sort of seeing the Jurassic World of it all, we've got this crazy sort of life hack in the West, which is if you want to destroy a city, for the love of God, make it sure it's a Western city. Do you know what I mean? Make sure it's one in America, or it's one in London, or maybe Europe, but mainly London. So, you know, London's had a pretty bad rep, you know what I mean? You've got like Olympus Has Fallen, you've got the Independence Day Resurgence, you've got a bunch of others that I can't... Oh, The Mummy 2017 with Tom Cruise. So let's just carry on the trend, mate. We're bloody wrecking London, I tell you that much. London ain't know what's coming to it. We've got a park in India, which is going to be full of luscious greenery. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be sort of built, it's not going to be built on the Taj Mahal, of course it's not, but it's going to be sort of built on like a sort of older site sort of thing. So it's got all these like ancient ruins that all these little raptors are running around. They're going to love it, don't even worry about it. Then you've got the park in Japan, which is very ultra futuristic, and it's mainly set around water. So this is mainly where all these sort of water-based dinos are. I don't know any of the dinosaur names, so don't even come at me in the comments. And then we've got the Dubai park, which is really flashy, but it's also like desert themed as well. It's very ultra modern tech, but then it's great expanses of just sort of sand dunes and stuff. You know, in like the opening credits and stuff, we'll see like an infomercial from IGN, like, welcome to Jurassic World, where we got worlds all over the world. And you know, like Mr. DNA, like, hey, welcome to Jurassic Park here. With the fancy iPads and stuff, you know what I mean? They can borrow my Generation 1 iPad if they want, and we'll love it, don't even worry about it. It's 2011 model. So, we've established that Claire and Owen and all the main cast are off doing something somewhere, and they might actually be fighting sort of behind the scenes, not overtly, against the seemingly, wait for it, I don't know what we're going to call them. Like, they're basically the flag smashers from Falcon and Winter Soldier, so they're like a ragtag team of environmentalist activists. So, you know, you can chuck in a couple of funny jokes about veganism in there, don't even worry about it. You know, because it's the vegans, right? They can always take a joke, don't even worry about it. What do I want to call them? Well, I don't really know what you can specifically call, like, the world burn. I don't know. It's a bit, look, it's a bit messy and it's a bit of an awkward plot. No studio is going to want to touch a terrorist plot with a 10-foot barge pole. But we'll call them, like, the Green Warriors, okay? The Green Warriors. They're not going to call that, but we'll just call them that for the purposes of the video. So basically our main guys, the reason why they've let this sort of Jurassic World go is because they're very conscious of the Green Warriors, who have got good intentions. You know, they want to free all the dinosaurs and get them out of captivity, but they have no idea how to handle these dinosaurs once they're actually out of captivity, so they're just kind of accidentally unleashing dinos across all sorts of the world, do you know what I mean? They're sort of looking at routine, like, little pockets of dino activity, wondering, but where are all these dinos coming from? After the first 10 minutes, after, you know, our inciting incident is a full-scale operation by the Green Warriors. They're all in the parks at the same time. They're synchronised. Don't even worry about time zone. They are synchronised, and as one, they all like don their green masks, and they boom, bash, they bash open gates, they fry the electric furnaces, they juice everything, and they juice everything. Yeah! Bleed the juice in the electric furnaces, they just sabotage all the Jurassic World that I've just mentioned. So we've got it in England, in India, in Japan, in Dubai. They're gone, mate. They're just completely gone. Oh, there'll be a Russian one as well, which is a lot less snowy. They completely eradicate them, so we've got dinos on the loose. And, you know, that's absolutely great, that's fantastic. Amazing, you've freed all the dinosaurs from Jurassic World. I mean, we weren't happy about them sort of being on display and stuff, but we could respect that at least they were sort of being looked after. But now you've just unleashed them onto the world, well, what are we gonna do? You know, and that's a problem because, you know, humans still exist and occupy the Earth. And so intercut with the whole story, and we'll have a very cold open where it's like a courtroom scene, like basically what Fallen Kingdom was trying to do, but better. It's like an underground bunker where it's like a courtroom scene, and it's not overly sort of drawn out as to what sort of procedurals are going on, but it's basically like different characters are getting up, giving testimonies to what happened, but they're not explicitly referring to what happened. And from the audience perspective, we're thinking, oh well, sure, yeah, I mean, the events of, you know, yeah, Fallen Kingdom happened, and you know, I guess the first Jurassic World, or are they on trial for the original Jurassic Park? I didn't think they did anything wrong, like, well, Jurassic Park 3, what, because it was a bad movie? Well, that's a meta move, Joe. None of that. No, we are not referring to what they're being tried for. We're just being told that a bad thing happened and that they are responsible somehow, but we don't know what it is. Turns out, so put a pin in that. Oh, and during all this, obviously, Malcolm's off in the corner like, alrighty, we've got a Jurassic Worlds. It's like a planet of dinosaurs. And they're good, and they're big. Oh, they are big boys. That's how he talks, right? You know, but coming back to the present, these dinosaurs have been unleashed, they are wreaking havoc across the world, and the green masks, the green men or the green warriors or what have you, they're panicking right now. They're like, we did not think about this. And there's some funny back and forth about like, what do you mean you didn't think about it? Okay, so at this point we learn about the Green Army's sort of motives, and we realise, oh okay, they're not actually bad, maybe they had honest intentions. How do we deal with all these dinos? Well, you know, you got these stuffy sort of the United Nations, all these stuffy government officials who all decide that the only way to fight fire
is with fire.
Do you remember in the first Jurassic World where they made the brand new dinosaur, the Indominus Rex? What if we take that up a few notches to fight this pantheon, this world full of dinosaurs, and we're going to have an army, 100 Indominus Rexes, Domini? You know, obviously the main guys are like, well, it's a terrible idea, why would we make more dinosaurs? But it's like, well, these have got like inhibitor chips, it's like a Clone Wars situation, they've got inhibitor chips, which means that they're under our full control, and they are just clued in to fight other dinosaurs, but they can adapt better to the surroundings, and they know not to hurt humans. As long as humans stay out of the way, they know not to hurt them and stuff, and obviously it's quite conflicting, but they're like, okay, fine, let's just unleash the Indominus. Domini? And yeah, sure, you know, you're unleashing these T-Rex, well, bigger than T-Rex sized dinosaurs that are genetically modified across the Earth. It's going to obliterate the landscape, but hey ho, at least we'll have no more dinosaurs. And then when all the dinosaurs we don't want have gone away, we just sort of turn off the Indominuses. Indomini? Yeah, I mean, we just sort of cheeky little off switch, mate. Don't even worry about it. A little inhibitor chip in the back of the heads. Everybody's got one. I mean, you got one. So, you know, you unleash your 100 Indominuses, Indomini, to fight the 100 T-Rex, but then what then? So, you know, we've established that we couldn't possibly just nuke all the dinosaurs. I know that's kind of the easy answer, do you know what I mean? What if dinosaurs came back tomorrow? Would I nuke them? Yeah, and then like, what Earth are you leaving for, you know, yourself to rule over? Not a bloody good one, mate. So I'm suggesting instead they launch a meteor, a gosh darn meteor from the stars. They can sort of use, you know, futurism technology to zap it out of the sky, bring it down to Earth, clear out the dinosaurs. It's going to block out the sun, going to plunge the world into darkness for, I don't know, a year. But what about the humans, I hear you say? Yeah, that's true. Well, what about the humans? Well, our old friends at IGN have built fallout shelters, bunkers. They've been planning for this, mate. They've always had this contingency plan. Oh, they'll make the Jurassic Worlds, but if the Jurassic Worlds don't want a Jurassic World anymore, they've got a plan. So they plough the human race into bunkers to wait out the nuclear winter while the Indominuses and the dinos fight it out, and hopefully the dinos will reign supreme. Because I'm not sure if I mentioned this previously, but I'm just going to reiterate the point that the Indominus Rexes are being overwhelmed by the dinos. One Indominus Rex can take on one T-Rex, okay, that's clearly been established. Maybe even two T-Rexes, but taking on a Stegosaurus and a Paleontologisaurus and you know, all sorts of little scampy things, it's bloody too much, mate. They're overwhelmed. So, meteor, everyone's shoved into fallout bunkers, proper closing the doors. And it is during this point, now we see the courtroom scene. We see that the big bad event that they were talking about is the film we've just watched. That's the thing they're on trial for. You know, you've got Owen and Claire and the original stars of the Jurassic Park franchise all sat in a big line, all owing up to their crimes. And they're pretty annoyed, to be honest, because look, they didn't agree with the Green Warriors. The Green Warriors went about it all wrong. Freeing dinosaurs, an honest intention, and sure, and Jurassic World were wrong for modifying them. But one cannot deny that what Jurassic World did right is actually look after the damn things and stop them from running amok across the bloody globe, mate. They kind of sat like, well, you're all assholes, but here we go. You know, we've got some nice love stuff. Maybe Claire that reveals that she's pregnant. I don't know, you know, we'll fast forward a year in the life in the bunker. It's fine. See, but we're keeping it topical because everyone's going to be coming out having them lockdown beards and stuff, and we'll have a lot of that sort of 2020 imagery sort of trickle, just peppered in there, just a light sprinkling. So, cut to black, a title card 1 year later.
That is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant!
And big door cranking open, they open it up, and the dinosaurs are still there, mate. They are still there, and they are stronger than ever. And now they are pissed. They are annoyed because they know the human. They've learned, and they know the humans sent the asteroid down to them, and they don't know the humans want claim to this Earth. But it's a dinosaur's Earth now. It's been the dinosaur's Earth for more than a year. Look at what humans have done to it.
It's so easy to take nature for granted because it's always there.
How are the dinosaurs going to communicate this? I don't know, brainwaves or some such. Now, what's happened to the Indominus Rexes? Have all the dinosaurs taken them over? Oh look, the IDs put up a really good, a darn good fight, but ultimately they were the ones that suffered the most because they're purely man-made. There simply weren't enough sort of resources keeping them going. Now, that wasn't, you know, they figured they put up sort of generators around to sort of keep them going, you know, a bit like Mechagodzilla. But once the generators were out, once the juice ran out, you know, they didn't compensate for how long they would need to be underground for. So the Indominus Rexes just kind of went extinct themselves. Yeah, sure, meteor came and down, but the dinosaurs have learned from last time. No, they haven't learned from last time. These are entirely fictional dinosaurs. Look, not all the dinosaurs have survived, but most of them, and they do not want to share this Earth. So,
are we gonna move?
Well, no. There's no place to move to.
Look, I know it's a bit of a bleak idea, a bleak sort of concept, like, oh, it's like literally the end of the world, the apocalypse. Well, nah, it's more like extinction, which extinction is fun. Extinction is dinosaurs, it's meteor coming from the skies, blocking out the sun. You know, we're gonna have some fun bits underground, where it's like Lost, it's like the Dharma Initiative, with like your little ration packets and stuff like that. And more to the point, it's like Armageddon, it's like 2012, it's like you're knowing, do you know what I mean? You got these, either they're on the water or they're under bunkers. I think bunkers works better, but that's just me, you know, because you've got water dinosaurs, but that's just me. It's like a fun kind, you know what I mean? And maybe it ain't a bad thing. Like, if we really want to lean hard on the environmental message here, then sure, they come out and they see that all the man-made structures have sort of gone away, and they're like, huh, you know, these dinosaurs have actually brought this Earth back to, brought it to its knees, brought Mother Nature has sort of taken over again. Maybe this will teach us a lesson. Or maybe, you know, they'll, maybe Claire will sort of get a shotgun and be like, you know, let's go, sort of a la A Quiet Place 2 ending. I don't really know, mate. I mean, where do we go from here? I don't know, they travel back in time on the Velocicoaster? You figure it out. When you figure it out for a change. When you figure it out for a change. You've ever thought about what, they're gonna go back in time on the Velocicoaster? This ain't a film, mate. This is real life. This is Jurassic World. Did you not see the whiteboard? Did you not see the whiteboard? Gee, ho 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 ho.